Season 3 has finally arrived, and aside from the usual seasonal stuff, we get new enemy types and a massive Telltale update in which we are experiencing new areas together with the characters from Pirates of the Caribbean. And yeah, this still feels a bit weird to say. But is this an awkward movie invasion or a welcome alliance? Let's find out. And before we dive into it, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps and you won't miss out on future content. So let's start with the big stuff. Jack Sparrow and his crew have crossed the horizon into the world of Sea of Thieves, and Davy Jones is hot on their tail. Together 5 individual tall tales form one epic story, and you don't even need to complete them 5 times to unlock all the commendations. So before I give my opinion about this, rest assured I will only be showing gameplay of the first tall tale mixed in with footage from the official trailers. Without revealing too much, these tall tales deserve to be experienced firsthand since all of them contain some truly memorable and awesome moments. Having said that, I will probably mention some stuff from the other tall tales, but I won't show them and I won't go into any specifics. Alright, with that message out of the way, let's start at the beginning. To embark on this epic adventure, you vote for them by using the new Castaways camp. Every new Telltale book can be found there, and you will unlock them all by progressing through the story. Pretty straightforward and pretty easy to find. Which is nice, since I believe the seas will be having a lot of new players that want to dive right in. And the addition of this camp also answers the question of what the hell they were building at the outpost. Sadly, my theory about the merfolk faction didn't hold up, but to be fair, nobody really could have guessed what was coming. The only downside to this camp is that I don't really see it being used for anything other than these 5 tall tales. Which I guess is fine, but I prefer my outpost additions to have a little more long-term use. Another obvious addition are these huge stone structures that are used to transport you to various new locations. I'm being a little bit fake here. And yeah, they are pretty conveniently placed next to every outpost, but they do kinda mess up the overall beauty of the seas. And I hope they will reduce these new formations to just one in the future. Also, make sure you sell your treasure first when going through these portals, since you can't take that with you. You also lose your maps and your voyages, but you know, that should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine, unless you have like a gilded and you decide, oh yeah, we'll do this quick tall tale.
Oh.
Alright, but what about the tall tales themselves? Well, they are awesome. Normally I would give my final opinion somewhere at the end, but I just can't do it. I'm having a great time with all of these, and at times I can't even believe that this 3-year-old game is still able to make such great leaps and offer some truly wonderful new experiences. My initial fear was that these two worlds wouldn't work together, that the corporate Disney machine would show its ugly face and ruin the beautiful crafted lore of Sea of Thieves. Well, after playing all of them, it is not as bad as I feared, but I'm still a little bit conflicted. These stories feature characters or areas from the movies, but often they blend beautiful with the world of Sea of Thieves. Neither one feels dominant to the other, and you can even expect the Sea of Thieves lore to expand in big ways. But I'm not sure if I wanted the Pirates of the Caribbean to help me with that. I can say that the new locations look beautiful. And to even use the word beautiful is like an understatement to these stunning set pieces and atmospheric new biomes you will be finding yourself in. Let's just say I'm quite happy I was fortunate enough to get a Series X just before this update launched. And I was also quite happy to see that the actual Pirates of the Caribbean theme park ride got a lot of love as well. I actually preferred these references to the ride over the references to the movie, if I'm completely honest. The actual objectives you need to do during these tall tales aren't that hard, but there are certainly moments you will need to use your pirate brain and your good eye to solve certain sections, especially during the second tall tale. Overall, there were moments we did get a little stuck, but this usually didn't last long since those points were no match for our collective puzzle solving abilities. But I do feel that not everyone will have the same smooth experience as we did. But hey, that's what guides are for. As for the length of these tall tales, yeah, it's all pretty meaty. Some tall tales, like the first one, can be rushed through and might be completed in as little as, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. But if you do that, you miss the entire point. These tall tales are crafted to be experienced at a slower pace. They are meant to invoke a sense of wonder, adventure, exploration, and feeling like you are living a pirate's life. And often these tall tales have side quests and hidden areas that only reveal themselves to those who are willing to do some real treasure hunting. And honestly, this was often the best part of these tall tales. Figuring stuff out together as a crew and discovering all the hidden secrets was an absolute blast. So, is it all moonlight and roses? No, I do have some criticism. At certain points, the way to progress wasn't always that clear, and as hinted at before, some lore stuff was moving either too fast, or I wish they handled it a bit differently. I won't go into specifics since, spoilers, but we will dive deeper into the overall state of the lore in the next podcast episode, so if you're interested in that, you have something to look forward to. Another point of criticism is voice acting. The guy who does Jack Sparrow is doing an amazing job, but there are at least 2 characters whom I won't name that had me a bit disappointed. And lastly, I have heard complaints about the game crashing during these tall tales and people not being able to finish certain sections, especially during the second tall tale. I didn't experience this myself, but I thought it was worth it to note, and the devs already announced they are working on some fixes. Overall, aside from the occasional pet getting stuck in the environment, I really didn't encounter any bugs or glitches and was actually amazed how smooth this massive experience actually was. Tall Tales aren't the only new addition, since we finally get some truly new enemy types. We have the teleporting phantoms, ocean crawlers that come in multiple varieties, and not even the waters are safe with the inclusion of sirens. This is great. Those that regularly pop into our Unofficial Sea of Thieves podcast know that this is a topic that comes up almost every single episode. And yeah, they have done a great job with these new additions. Each type truly feels unique. They have different attacks and different weaknesses. Some ocean crawlers attack with poisons and others with electric eels, and I am over the moon with this addition. These enemies can be found on all islands, so even aside from the tall tales, you can expect some new experiences on all locations. The only downside is that they are a bit too easy to kill. Skeletons scattering quickly kinda makes sense, but these enemies seem buffy, yet they die so quickly. So I do hope both their attack and defense will get a bit of a boost in future updates. This is not the case for sirens, because they will fuck you up if you are not prepared. They can perform a range of underwater abilities, from scratching to long distance projectiles, and even have the ability to regenerate health. The good part is that both sirens, but also ocean crawlers, have a chance to drop siren gems. This is a new loot type that basically functions the same way as a mermaid gem. The addition of these sirens will probably also change some PvP tactics, since the long distance sneaky swimming strategy meta might be off the table now, and they might have to dial the appearance of these sirens back, since farming these new gems was a bit too easy for our galleon crew. And without spoiling too much, these new enemies are far from the only new foes you will encounter during the Tall Tales. But I will leave those surprises a secret for now. So, let's quickly go over the other stuff. Just like previous seasons, you can yet again earn renown for cosmetics and buy a plunder pass for additional rewards. My opinion is still the same as previous seasons, and the rewards are just fine this time. But I do really like the fact that you can earn a Ferry of the Damned figurehead. I mean, that one, yeah, it's pretty nice. Back over in the Emporium, we can buy some Pirates of the Caribbean themed cosmetics, like a Captain Jack Sparrow crew set to dress up your entire crew as members of the Black Pearl. We have an emote bundle to impersonate Jack, and of course the addition of the Eternal Freedom ship set, which everybody will call the Black Pearl, and rightfully so. Oh, and we can't forget about the prison dog, who will surely guard all those toxic pirates you vote in the brig. Safe to say, Rare will be filling their pockets with ancient coins because I have a feeling these cosmetics will be rather popular. Oh, and don't forget to pick up the Dance of the Deep emote since it's free for a limited time. But I don't know, it won't be a shame if you don't pick this one up. They also added a new weapon type in the form of the Trident of Dark Tides. This weapon can be dropped by Siren leaders and found in all sorts of locations, including Fort Vaults. The trident can be charged to create a bubble of energy to unleash damage and knockback to your opponent. Worthy to note that sharpshooter pirates can detonate a larger, slow-moving bubble in midair by shooting it with a bullet or a smaller bubble. And yeah, I like it, but I have yet to use it in some more PvP situations to really form an opinion. They also changed the look and feel of certain menus and they made the arena tab just a little tiny option now. So anyone who was hoping they might get an arena update, yeah, your hopes and dreams are at the bottom of the ocean right now. New emissary rewards have also been added and I really appreciate them giving the ledgers the attention they deserve. I myself am really having fun trying to make a top ledger every single month. And starting next month is a new Flags of Friendships event where you will be rewarded for being friendly. And even though I don't really like these types of objectives, I'm sure it will feel very welcoming to all the new players this update will bring. But I'm still gonna sing them. And finally, there are some recolors to be found in the shops, like the Dawn Hunter and Grimy Bilge Red clothing set. Some people seem to like this influx of recolors, but I am not one of them. So, is this a good update? Yeah, no question about it. I would even go so far as to say this is the best update Sea of Thieves ever had. And you know what? I don't even think that this is the bold statement at all. Yeah, it doesn't do that much for the PvP in the game, but honestly, who cares? Even compared to other Tall Tales, these new stories are offering something truly unique, and even after you're done with them, we still have the new enemy types to make certain elements of the game feel fresh again. I'm fully hyped again for this game, which is really saying something after over 3 years, and I can't wait to see what Season 4 brings to the map table. Maybe a Muppet Treasure Island crossover, who knows? And just like always, this video is just a taste of my total opinions and thoughts on this update. If you want to hear a spoiler-filled discussion alongside the opinions of other Sea of Thieves YouTubers, make sure you tune in to our next podcast episode as we will dive cannonballs deep into this update. And again, don't forget to subscribe or leave a like, I would really appreciate it. So let me know what crossover Rare should do next, or let me know your favorite Tall Tale from this update in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, that's it, thanks for watching and take care.